Hi there, I'm Néstor. I will talking about the China-United States trade war. It's an ongoing economic conflict between China and the United States. The President Donald Trump in 2018 began setting tariff and other trade barriers on China with the goal to force on it to make change to what the USA says are unfair trade practices. Among those trade practices and their effects are the growing trade deficit and alleged theft of intellectual property and forced transfer of American technology of China. In response to USA trade measures, the Chinese government has accused the Trump administration of engaging of protectionism. Since the 80s, Trump has advocated tariffs to reduce the USA trade deficit and promote domestic manufacturing, saying the country was being ripped off by its trading partners. Imposing tariffs became a major plan of his presidential campaign. A backgrounded by the Council of Foreign Relations said that while many economists and trade experts did not believe that trade deficit fueled the economy, others believe that sustained trade deficits were often a problem, and there was a substantial debate over how much of the trade deficit is caused by foreign government, as well as what policies, if any, should be pursued to reduce it. The trade war has negatively impacted the economies of both the United States and China. In the United States, it has led to higher prices for consumers and financial difficulties for farmers. In China, the trade war has contributed to a slowdown in the rate of economy and industrial output growth. Throughout the end of 2019, the Financial Times report that the trade war has had damaged both American and Chinese manufacturers and driven the American manufacturing sector in contraction. Many American companies have shifted supply chains to elsewhere in Asia, bringing fears that the trade war would lead to USA-China economic decoupling. In other countries, the trade war has also caused economic damage. Though some countries have benefited from increased manufacturing to fill the gaps, it has also led to stock market instability. Governments around the world have taken steps to address some of the damage caused by the economic conflict. Internationally, there has been support for the end goal of the Trump administration trade war on trying to change China trade policies, while there has also been criticism of the use of tariffs and the trade war's negative economic impact. Among American industries, USA businesses and agricultural industries have opposed the trade war, though most farmers continue to support Trump. Among USA politicians, some have disagreed with the tactics Trump is employing, but most agree with the goal of putting pressure on China. As of late November 2019, none of the leading Democratic candidates for president said they would remove the tariff, include Joe Biden and Elizabeth Warren. Both of whom agreed the USA had to confront what they see as China's unfair trade policy. The United States and China are the world's two largest economies. The USA has a larger nominal GDP, whereas China has a larger GDP when measured in terms of purchasing power parity. China is the world's largest exporter, and the United States is the world's largest importer. They have so far been important pillars for the global economy. China joins the World Trade Organization. With the United States-China relations of 2000, China was allowed to join WTO in 2001 and was given a most favored nation status. President Bill Clinton in 2000 pushed the Congress to approve the USA-China trade agreement and China's accession to the WTO, saying that more trade with China will advance American economic interests. However, his administration has accused China of failing to comply with global trade rules and demanded that China first resolve a list of outstanding trade agreements with Washington, including opening its markets and protecting copyrights and patents. Among the key issues were that China was a major source of pirated musical compact discs and video laser discs, along with virtually all the computer software sold in China on intellectual property rights. There was no enforcement of China's written laws, and as a result, the piracy and death of American-produced music, videos, and software was costing American companies. Okay, we'll continue with the effects of China-WTO accession. Upon joining the WTO, China agreed to some of the quickest reduction in tariffs ever undertaken by a new member. By 2005, China could import tariffs to a general level of 9.9% from a previous level of nearly 40%. In the early 90s, many USA officials doubted it would stand by those promises, but Chinese exports and imports rose rapidly, with imports rising more rapidly than exports in the years immediately following WTO accession. However, China's exports to the United States grew more quickly than its imports from the United States. In the 4 years after joining the WTO, China in general complied with its legal obligation. Within China, WTO rules gave the central government in Beijing a tool for pushing through reforms resisted by local officials. The US-China Business Council noted the far more open and profitable business environment for many US companies in China, but called for faster progress on a range of issues, including intellectual property, enforcement, and access to the service sector.